All right, Major League Baseball, New York Yanks, Mets update for this week. Some tough news for the Mets, although he should avoid an IL stint. DeGrom was scratched last night from his start. Game got postponed anyway, but DeGrom with a little bit of side tightness. MRI showed it's a little bit of lat soreness, so he's not going to be thrown for the next few days. So obviously he misses this start. They hope that he's good for the weekend series, but honestly, I bet you they scratch him from pitching this weekend against Arizona, and he essentially would miss 2 turns in the rotation. This dude was the pitcher of the month for the NL, as Garrett Cole was for the Yanks and the AL. Both New York Aces have been absolutely spectacular this year. DeGrom has been on an absolutely just godly level. One of the craziest stats is starting pitchers who have thrown over 100-mile-an-hour pitches this year. He has 46. The next pitcher has like 3, and it's Garrett Cole. DeGrom's thrown 46 pitches of 100 miles an hour or more. The next is Garrett Cole with 3.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Goes to show you how elite his stuff has become as he's aged. DeGrom. I mean, it's insane. So it's a big blow for the Mets. They lost the first game, a tough one, 6-5 on Monday. They play 2 today, doubleheader, 7-inning games. First one I think is at 5:15. Next one's going to be at 8:15. Yanks, though, 9-3 in their last 12. They beat the Astros. First time the Astros have come to New York with fans in attendance since the whole cheating scandal was broke and confirmed. I mean, Yankee fans were absolutely ruthless last night, is what you expected. Altuve got an absolute earful. I mean, 8 or 10,000 people in the stands at Yankee Stadium last night. Probably felt like there was 30 or 40. Stanton went deep. Herman pitched a pretty nice game. I said it before. Also, quick shout out to Austin. Yesterday was his birthday, and he went to the game yesterday, and he caught a foul ball. First foul ball, he's like barehanded. He said like LeMahieu foul ball. He reached out, grabbed it. So Stin, if you're watching, here's your little shout out. Happy birthday. Hope you had a nice night last night and a nice Yankees win. And him and I have been texting just obviously because I do watch the Yankees too, like, you know, because my mom's a Yankee fan and I'll be flipping back and forth. So I watch the Yankees almost as much as I watch the Mets. We've been doing like picks to click. And I texted him, I was like, all right, pick 2 players who you think are going to hit a home run. And I gave him Stanton and Urshela. Stanton hit a home run last night. So Nick 1, Austin 0. I think he picked Judge and Glaber. No, we have a different bet. Our bet, our yearly bet, and again, he's won it 3 straight years. Mets, Yanks, better record at the end of the season. It's a friendly $20. I think this one is a more competitive season that the Mets are expected to win over 90 games. Yankees had kind of a struggling start, but they're back over 500. Game up. Boston's still in first place. Their bats are finally, they're starting to come alive. 7 runs again. I also have said it, tweeted out, Corey Kluber, high sock Corey Kluber. When he wears high socks on the mound, different animal. 2 starts, high socks. 6 2/3, 8 innings. He threw an absolute gem against Detroit Sunday. Just insane. Had 10 strikeouts, 8 innings, gave up nothing. And it's exactly what that upside that the Yankees thought. They thought, all right, if we give him 1-year deal, if he can get anything close to the type of Cy Young pitcher that he's capable of, that's going to be our solid number 2 starter. And Kluber showed it to you. Has shown it to you the last 2 starts. Next thing is to get Tyone a little bit deeper into games, get more solid outings from him as your other as your other pitching acquisition. But this is the role that we thought they were going to be on. So now, game over 500. Basically, after last night, season started last night. At 500, you go, all right, from here on out, what are we doing? Clean slate at 500. For the Mets, though, they fired Chili Davis. They fired their hitting coach. They fired their assistant hitting coach after 23 games. Zach Scott, the GM, said, it wasn't the result of 23 games. It's where we want to move forward. Everyone knows Chili Davis, very old school guy. You weren't going to change the way he coaches. Old school, analytics numbers are very relied on in today's game, and I'm sure the front office wants more and wants to go in a different direction of how hitters' approaches are and how they want to show them and expand on how to get the most of every at-bat. I don't mind the firing. I thought that there was no reason to bring Chili Davis back after this year. So for me, the timing, a little off, kind of weird. They fired him at like midnight after Monday's game when the last 3 games they've put up 5 runs, 8 runs, and 6 runs. Like they're averaging 6 runs in the last 3 games. So, of course, now the pitching hasn't been as good as it was the last few weeks when the Mets couldn't score. So that's why they currently sit at 11 and 12. I'm very worried about this team right now. Let's not very worried. But you have 3 more in St. Louis against a team that you never win. You never beat. Especially at Busch Stadium. They were up 5-2. Lucchesi gives up a 3-run home run to Arenado to immediately tie the game. Two out, nobody on. Mets were up 5-2 in that 3rd inning. Single, home run, double, single, 6-5, and you lost 6-5. Thanks for coming. Things have to click. Bullpen's been good. Starting pitching's been good. Offense has not been great. Getting better. Injuries now. Stacking up. Nimmo hurt. J.D. Davis back on the 10-day IL. DeGrom going to miss a start or 2. I mean, shit. We're fucked. It's like, what the fuck? But VR, Pilar, guys that you brought in to have a more solidified bench, now in the starting lineup and are doing well. Pilar has hit home runs in back-to-back games. I think he's like 5 for his last 8. He's hitting the ball really well. So, again, they've played 6 less games than like every other team due to like the first COVID series and the rainouts. They're 11 and 12. It's so early on. And I'm not worried about him, but it's starting to get rough. He's 0 for his last 21. Francisco Lindor is 0 for his last 21. Hitless in his last 21 at-bats. Your $340 million guy is batting 172 with a home run and 3 RBIs. It ain't good. It ain't good right now. And defensively, up the middle, fantastic. Him and McNeil have probably made 3 insanely difficult double plays the last 3 games that would not have even been close to turning last year. And again, what I love about him is that each at bat has not affected his defensive play. He's still a leader. He's still giving you the best defensive shortstop every time out on the field. Just need more competitive at bats. He is flying open. He's early on everything. When he comes set here, his front hip is just flying open. Can't get to that outside pitch. Instead, if he stays square, start driving it the other way. Let the ball get a little bit deeper. Stay square more. Don't fly open. All your power is gone. He's talked about it so many times that like my power comes from my legs. All right, well, hey, you need to keep that frame of your legs. You got to keep it square so that you can stay closed, square with the ball, and start driving it to right center, left center. I'm telling you, he could break out of the slump in 2 at-bats. Small adjustments. It's all rotation, all with his hands. If he just stays closed a little bit longer and doesn't fly open on any outside pitches, or if he's flying open on balls that are like up in the zone that he's usually level on and crushing, everything just goes. All your power is gone. So just gotta stay square with him. He's gonna be fine. Now you start off a month of April like that, and you're thinking, all right, if he gets on a tear, the best you probably think this season that he hits is like 250, 260. Another slump is bound to happen later in the season. This season is so long. And my dad's always compared it, are we going to see like an 05 Beltran season where like you sign that big free agent and he gives you below average numbers that first year. Maybe Lindor only gives you 15 and like 65 or 70 this year. I mean, we all know what happened in 06 with Beltran. He hit 41 fucking home runs and, tied the Mets single season home run mark at that time before Pete Alonso absolutely demolished it 2 seasons ago. 41 home runs was the most home runs in a season for a Met player, and Beltran had that in 06. Again, We're with this guy for 10 years. It's all exhale a little bit. It's still 11-12. If we're mulling around 500 and we're like all-star break or we're in like middle of June, that's where I can get annoyed or worried. I fully expect this team to play well, compete with the best teams in the league. And they still have guys coming. They got Syndergaard coming back in June. Carrasco is supposed to be ready to go in probably a week's time. Hopefully Lugo around that June-July mark. Once those guys come back, I think it'll ease some of the pressure and have these legitimate players back into the locker room, back giving you the innings that they need to give you to compete. The hits are going to come. This lineup is way too talented not to hit and score runs. So, Mets have 3 against St. Louis. Yanks continue their series home against the Astros. We'll see how they do against Houston.